Now, if you're just starting out looking for a home, you probably want to either select an agent or a mortgage broker. The agent can actually refer you to several good mortgage brokers. For example, any mortgage broker that I would recommend to you is one that has come through for me many times, and I know they can do what they want to do. So, the mortgage broker, I will say something a little bit more about in one of my sections. The mortgage broker will basically tell you how much you can spend on a home. Now, one of the things an agent is supposed to tell you the first time we have a face-to-face meeting, and those are becoming fewer with the internet and all the messaging services. So I'm going to tell you right now, and it's about confidentiality. And like I said, the first meeting they're going to have to tell you this. Anything you tell me or an agent that you do not have a contract with, that agent cannot keep things confidential if it might be of help to one of his sellers. For example, you tell me you can afford $400,000 for a house, and then for some strange reason you don't hire me. And you go into a seller's house, and that happens to be either my listing or one of my companies. Now, if I know anything that might help the buyer, I have to tell them. So if you put in your offer that that's the most you can afford is $350,000, I would be obligated to tell them that you can pay $400,000. I can't keep it secret, or it's a violation of the MLS rules and regulations. So, in a nutshell, don't tell any agent something that you would not want him to relate to a seller until you have a contract with him. For example, if I told you I'm going to keep things confidential, first of all, that's a violation. Second of all, I'm implying myself as a buyer's agent because confidentiality is one of the conditions the court will look at in seeing if I am actually representing you, even if you don't have a contract. So, once again, don't tell any agent anything you wouldn't want a seller to know until you have a contract with them. Now, in selecting the agent, I'm going to give you a warning that I really don't have to give you until we meet face to face. Here's the warning. Don't tell me anything that you wouldn't want me to relate to a seller if you were buying a house until you have a contract with me or an agent. And here's why. Anything you tell me, and let's say for some strange reason you don't hire me, and you come into a listing that my company has, so I indirectly represent them, and you tell me, for instance, in my initial conversation with you, you can afford $400,000 for a house. Well, you come into this house with me not representing you, and you tell the seller, well, $350,000 is the absolute highest I can go. Well, if I know that you can spend $400,000, I have to tell them that. I don't have an option. So be very, very careful about telling things to an agent that doesn't represent you. And if an agent says to you, with no contract, says, well, I'll keep that in confidence, well, that's a violation of the real estate rules and ethics. We're not allowed to do that, because if we say that, if I said to you, I'm going to keep this information confidential, I'm implying myself as a seller's agent, and it gets kind of tricky here. So it just can't be done. So once again, don't tell anybody, or especially an agent, agents are the only ones that are bound by this, things that you wouldn't want a seller to know until you have a contract with that agent and they represent you. Now, the next person you should contact after the agent or before is the mortgage broker, unless you have cash. When you're going to buy something all cash, you won't need a mortgage broker. But the mortgage broker will tell you how much you can afford to buy a house. He will analyze your income, your expenses, your credit scores, and he will basically figure out the amount that he will back you on for a house. And he should give you a little letter saying you're good for $400,000 or whatever. Now, once again, I'm just telling you, this is a very preliminary contact with a mortgage broker. There's a lot of other things that go into it, and I also have a video on how to select a mortgage broker. But you can just pick one if you don't know any. I know some very good ones, and of course I'm going to give you ones that have been able to come across for me many, many times. They will tell you how much you can spend. And when you select an agent, what you really want to look for is somebody that can handle information, because that's really the job of the agents, is to basically manage information. And of course I do it digitally. And I was actually brought into the real estate industry in 1992 to help a franchise, it was Realty World, get a computer and get up to speed in the new digital age. Up till then I'd been writing programs for businesses, and that was mostly text information. Well, when I got into the real estate office, I saw there was a lot of different kinds of information to handle. There was, of course, the text, there were contracts, there were pictures, there was videos, PDF files, and since then, it's now times 10, the information that we're dealing with. Communications, we're dealing with phone, we're dealing with email, we're dealing with Facebook, text messaging, Instagram, YouTube, and so on. And it's becoming too much of a challenge for one agent to handle nowadays. That's my specialty, is the information management. And I'm probably on 3 webinars a week, keeping up with what's going on. The latest breaking news for YouTube, Facebook. They're always changing their rules. And that's really my job, is keeping information accurately, being able to find it quickly, and be able to disseminate it and to give it to people quickly. So when you select an agent, you probably want to select a team. That's the approach I use. And then you will have an agent that will be specifically showing you homes and in the field with you on a day-to-day basis. So once again, look for this team management. You're going to get more for your money if you have more than one agent working for you. Now, when you hire a real estate agent, you're going to sign a contract with them, and it could be for like 30 days, 60 days, 180 days. And so you may be stuck with this agent for the term of the contract, even if he doesn't do his job, if he doesn't do what he says he's going to do. So what you need to do is hire a totally risk-free agent. That's me, because I give you a performance guarantee. When you hire me and my team, I want you to think that we're the best possible team to represent you when you sign the contract and every single day you spend with us under the contract. And if at any time you feel that we're not doing our job, or you can be better represented by somebody else, you can cancel your contract with us. Written notice, 48 hours. And that's it. You're out of the contract. So I don't know, to tell you the truth, I don't know any agents that do this. Why do I do it? Because nobody's canceled the contract yet. Because I'm going to make sure I deliver. So, hire a risk-free agent. I also give what I call a buyer satisfaction guarantee. If for 18 months, anytime within that period, you are not satisfied with your home and you need to sell it and buy a new one, I will sell that home for you for free. Okay? So instead of paying 3 commissions, buying the house, selling the house, and buying a new house, you'll only pay 1 commission. So once again, if you're not satisfied for any reason with your house in the first 18 months, we'll sell it for free.